Gun people. Well, this is a pretty interesting story. If you want to go listen to it, this guy, Legally Armed America, does a really good job on this. ATF wrongly detains Navy veteran and steals his guns. The more I watch this from an investigative standpoint, it sounds like typical government ATF bullying. So if you go through this entire video, this guy's in the Navy. He ends up being retired. He becomes an artist. He's making a good living as an artist now. He gets caught up with some guy at this deal that the ATF was supposedly suspected him of selling either force reset triggers or SBR, sharp-barreled rifles. I'm not sure. You know, I would like to see the warrant. I mean, they arrested this guy and they searched him and he gave up. But I haven't seen. There's only one government document in this whole thing that gives me any input that the ATF did something. So again, I would like to see a warrant, a charge, a release, an arrest, and I could probably maybe figure out what the hell the ATF is doing. But he said 20 agents showed up. Look, if they're watching a place and they're planning on going in, this doesn't make sense to me. I'm wondering why they didn't go in with a warrant or why they didn't have an arrest warrant. So the ATF, of course, federal government, standing army, harassing citizens in states that states don't give a shit about. I mean, look, you guys know how I feel about the federal government and their overreach and the, bullshit. He does show some pictures. Like I said, he does a good job. Here's the rifles that they end up taking from this guy. Evidently, they got some high-end stuff. I mean, I'm not into all the new gun. This looks like a pretty nice silencer. And then on the sheet to where it's called a property receipt, when you take property from somebody, you give them a receipt on what you took. It shows, I think this is an Omega silencer, which I have one of those for my 30 caliber. But so he goes into how the Texas supposedly had all this on video. Nobody's really talking to him. What else did we go into? This is where they gave him a list. So this is a case or inspection number. This is 21, which means this happened in 21. I'm not sure. 0059776095. So usually maybe this isn't. I don't know how the ATF gives out their case numbers. Normally, police give out case numbers. There's a year date code in the middle of the case number, but maybe not. So basis for transfer and seizure under investigation, which means there's no crime. They're just investigating and they seize your property. Normally, you don't seize property unless it's evidence of a crime. Of course, our federal government can just come in and take anything anytime they want, and that's why you get tyrannical freaking cops. And when I see these cops, I wish I had the video of them interviewing him, because let's see, notice seizure of property, notice Knight's Armor, description of seized property, SBR, $1,500, seizure date, the asset, letter C's, Memphis, Tennessee, ATF, forfeiting property. Yeah, see, I would like, this is like all the accessories that he had on his gun that they gave him and valued, over 25 grand of all the shit that they took. These are the three freaking criminal, oh man, I just notice the, well, I don't need to point it out. Most of you guys should notice that. I mean, it's not rocket science to figure out what's going on with these freaking crooks. So these are the ATFs. They kind of bullied him a little bit, got him in a room. Supposedly he had it on GoPro. I did not see this full video, so I don't know. That's the only thing my complaint on this, and I'm not complaining about this guy, but when you're watching, this is his sister who was killed in D.C. She only had a 10-round magazine, and she had to face 3 armed guys with a 10-round mag, and they won and ended up killing her because she ran out of ammo. Pretty sad story that's what happened to his sister. Good video. Let's see what this one is. Studio. Can't make sense of this tragedy. Okay, I'm not sure when that popped up in the video. I know he talked about it. Let's see what else. You can go watch the video. This is the ATF agent in charge. Her booking photo when she was hooked up for drunk driving, I guess multiple times. Another complaint I have on this guy is he didn't put any contact information because she was pissed off that he was calling her and threatened to arrest him because he wanted his property back, and threatened to file charges if he kept asking for his property back, which is unlawful. Now, when you're dealing with federal agents and you don't get any response, the step above the federal agents is the U.S. attorney, because the U.S. attorney is like a DA. So when you have a police department that's not responding and that's blowing you off and doing shit, the DA is the one responsible for doing charges. He's the elected official in the area. He's the highest law enforcement official in the county that you're in. And when you go to the DA and say, hey, what's going on? Why aren't you charging these guys committed criminal offense? He can make a call and they will stop their bullshit. When you're dealing with feds, if you can get to a U.S. attorney, they can do the same thing, because they're the one that's got to charge and put these guys on a stand and make sure they're doing shit lawful. So if you can get to a U.S. attorney and beef these people, that's how you can get rid of them. This woman's a piece of shit, but whatever. I mean, let's see what else. So this is her, I guess, record. Miss ATF, supervisor in charge, great empowered female who wants to treat everybody like shit because she has a bunch of men kissing her butt. Anyway, if you want to go watch the video, it's a pretty good video. Again, I can't really do a good kind of what's going on here because there's just, I got really almost no information to evaluate whether or not this guy, obviously the ATF took his shit when he's only under investigation, which is kind of bullshit because that's just a code word that, hey, I got to have an investigation. Normally, when they start an investigation, it has to already be approved. If they're doing an operation on this guy's store, the original guy, they already had it approved and went through certain things to get that. This guy, because of the Patriot Act, is like collateral damage. He was there, so we'll make his life miserable too, and we'll include him in our investigation just because he was there. It's bullshit, it's wrong, I don't agree with it, but that's the laws that we get when we elect freaking people that want to have gun control, want to open the border, want to create crime, want to let people out of jail who create crime, want to have crime go really high and violence high so they can say, we need the guns to help you. Don't fall for the bullshit. Sad story, but I don't have enough information to give it. Anybody wants to connect with this guy and he wants to come and share, or if there's more information that he gives out, this sounds like an interesting case, and I'd like to see how it played out, but with what I got now, I really can't say too much. All right, y'all have a good one.